The war in Vietnam is a combined and joint effort, whatever you are. Soldier, sailor, Marine, or airman, American, 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 American,
people of California are peaceable and law-abiding citizens. It's no wonder that they were so aroused at the kidnapping and the murdering of this young man that they momentarily forgot themselves and was determined to give notice to the world that kidnapping and the murders which follow it would not be tolerated in this state.
In Salisbury, Maryland, 24 hours after Governor Rolfe's statement, another determined mob clashed with soldiers. The state militia had arrested 4 suspects in a month-old lynching after county authorities had refused to act. The angry crowd tried to prevent the arrests and turned their fury on reporters and cameramen who took to the air. The Maryland arrests bring into focus the question: mob law or law of the land?
The enemy's mistakes, of course, work to our advantage, but there is an obvious and urgent lesson. We must never duplicate those mistakes, not to be sure that there is any danger of our ever using terrorism as a weapon. But to the people in the villages, there might well be little difference between the calculated cruelty of communist forces and fire which rains on them and their families from an American rifle or an American plane. These special demands of this special war place a particular responsibility on every American over here. Commanders at all levels are obliged to consider the psychological as well as the military objectives of each operation. And because the circumstances call for an exercise of restraint beyond that normally required on the battlefield, they must strike a balance between the force essential to accomplish their mission and the necessity of inflicting as few casualties as possible on the civilian population. This does not mean that the rules of safety and security can or should ever be relaxed. Every commander must always be able to accomplish his mission with the least loss to his own troops and the fewest possible restrictions on his planning and his freedom to fire and maneuver. Nor does it mean that men going into battle should ever place their own lives or those of their buddies in jeopardy through excessive caution. Every man Every man Every man Every man Every man must take with him into combat a certain knowledge that he has the inherent right always to defend himself against hostile action, wherever and whenever it occurs.